You can come or you can go. I'm going to preach for God. Your power is coming to an end. Everybody will talk about that this is the year of judgment, but we must also understand this is also the year of exposure. Before God will judge you, he'll expose you. Then once he exposes you, then he'll judge you. Because he said, I told you too many times in the darkness, get right. But since you won't get right in the darkness, I'm going to bring you into the light, expose you, and shut you down. Shut it down. He 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 shut it down. When we have seen God move, when we have tasted of his goodness, when we have enjoyed all his blessings, and then we discard him as though he is on our level, your party must come to an end. I can't help but wonder if God is angry with America. I know some of y'all say some of these things are natural disasters, and yes they are, but everything is not a natural disaster. I can't help but ask the question, is God angry with the church? What are the gods that we have been toasting to? What happened to serving God with fear? What happened to reverencing the holiness of God? What happened to reverencing the work of God? I can't understand people these days. You'll pick up and do things when you feel like it. And the minute you get an attitude, you don't want to do it no more. As though God has to wait on you. God said, that's it. Your power is coming to an end. God don't have to wait on none of us. We must understand God don't need us. We need him. Somebody ought to help me here. God don't need us. We need him. Tell your neighbor, God don't need me. I need him. Somebody this season is out. You looking for God to be fair. I just was talking to somebody and I told him, hey, that's all right. God ain't a fair God. He's a just God. He don't have to just promote you because you've been in church 50 years. He don't have to lift you up just because you think you deserve it. God said, I'm looking for somebody holy, sanctified, set apart, and willing. Willing to do my will. God said, I'll elevate the one who only been here 2 years and leave you sitting right where you are. You've been here 22 years. God don't have to be fair. He's God. Tell somebody he don't have to be fair. He's God. Have you too lost your respect for God? When one loses respect for God, one's party is coming to a fatal end. I need you to see this. Read Daniel the 5th chapter when you go home. You ought to see that same night, Belshazzar not only had a broken up party, he also lost his life. That same night. I said that same night. I said that same night. Be mindful what you do after the sermon, because that same night, Belshazzar was murdered by his enemies. Beloved, I love you. But you better take heed to the example Belshazzar has left us. Heard some preachers say the other day he don't preach from the Old Testament. That don't apply today. And I say yes, it does apply. Because my word tells me in the New Testament, I believe the Apostle Paul said God gave us the Old Testament for our example. Because our God is the same. Yesterday, today, and forevermore. See, I'm not affected by y'all. I preach myself happy. I need to tell somebody that if you're partying in fornication, it's time for you to come out of it. If you're partying in adultery, it's time for you to come out of it. If you're partying in idolatry, preach king, it's time for you to come out of it. It's time, people of God, to come out of your lying party. It's time, people of God, for you to come out of your gossiping party. It's time, people of God, for you to come out of your stealing party. It's time for you, people of God, to come out of your sin party. And I come to tell you, please don't let it be said like it was said for Belshazzar. Too late, too late, too late. Some of y'all, you stayed in that thing too long and you've gone too far. But I hear the Lord say today, if you harden not your heart and hear my voice and turn from your wicked ways, I'll restore you. Tell somebody today is your day to be restored. Today, preach king, I think I will. This might be my last time. I'm not planning on dying, but just in case I don't preach to you no more, remember your pastor told you, if my people that are called by my name would humble themselves, pray, seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways. I know you've been in church all your life, but you got some wicked ways. Anytime you come to church,